Here's the live shot from VTrans of the big road this morning. 89 in Hartford, looking pretty clear. Brookfield up high there, a little frosty and cold. We're at about 26 degrees right now in the Granite City. There's another shot of Hartford, Brookfield, Bethel, and exit 10, Waterbury, where if you notice the sun, is it my imagination or is the sun seeming anyways to come up a little earlier? I don't know. Let's show you again right there. Look at that. Isn't that a beautiful shot? Exit 10, Waterbury. Good morning, everybody. I'm so glad you're with me. I'm JD Green. You got the Aired Out podcast live on Facebook, live on YouTube, streamed everywhere you get your podcasts, and on the web at airedoutvt.com. It feels like Friday. It's Thursday. Whew, there is so much happening right now. I'm going to give you a heavy weather forecast here with lots of details. And before I even go there, though, glad that tractor trailer jackknife from early this morning is cleaned up on the interstate. Things were closed down there for quite a while. That was earlier this morning, real early. Also, a note here that they're going to be paving or attempting to pave Elm Street right here in Barrie this morning and during the day today. So that's going to be closed, passing the Elks Lodge. So just avoid the whole area. Use Jefferson. Use whatever you got. But get around that spot, and it's going to be closed. As you know, there was a water main break there a while ago. So keep that in mind. Spread the word. We are 17 days away from the Super Bowl. What's on the menu at your house? That's going to be something I'm going to be talking about here over the next couple of days. What you're cooking up for the Super Bowl. Maybe it's a gathering at your house. I'll tell you what's on my menu as we push forward. Haven't fully determined that yet, but I'm working on it. We're 23 days away from Valentine's Day. Wow. Again, details from the forecast here in just a second. Top to bottom birthdays today. Caitlin Clark, WNBA All-Star, of course, 24 years old. Guy Fieri is 58, celebrity chef. G loves him. Don't let him kid you. DJ Jazzy Jeff. Remember, parents just don't understand? Of course you don't. 61 today. 61. Same number for Diane Lane. Linda Blair, 67. The superstar from The Exorcist. Whew. The old school speedster on the Flash, John Wesley Shipp, 71 today. Teddy Gentry from Alabama, 74. And this one might be painful for you to hear, ladies. Steve Perry, the original singer from Journey, 77. You remember Steve Perry in those tight jeans back in the late 70s, early 80s? Of course you do. Again, we're at 26 right now here in the Granite City. We have this Arctic blast, and all this detail is from NBC5. The Arctic blast, I don't know what the hell we call it, the polar vortex, whatever the hell. It's cold. Expected to bring near record cold this weekend in Vermont and New York. Some of the coldest air, and I mean, this is right off the NBC Channel 5's page. Some of the coldest air in several years, Saturday and Sunday. By late Friday night into early Saturday, overnight lows going to range from 20 below zero to 0. That's air temp. While wind chills going to be hovering anywhere, depending on where you are, from 10 to 35 degrees below zero. Yep. Higher elevations, even colder. So, Friday night, Saturday night, don't go snowshoeing up on top of a mountain. Okay, midnight skiing, probably not the best idea. Saturday is going to be brutally cold. We got the basketball tournament this weekend on Saturday and Sunday, so we're going to be out and about and running around. That's going to be fun. Kids, maybe if your parents aren't paying attention, when you arrive at these basketball tournaments, don't get out of the car with your shorts on and make it from the car to the gym on Saturday or Sunday. Put some sweatpants on. Daytime high temps staying below zero all day on Saturday. Wind chills ranging anywhere from 30 below to 10 below. Dangerous to be outside for extended periods of time. I'm paraphrasing here, and I'm adding in my own stuff here. Stupid to be outside for even a short period of time if you're exposing skin. So again, don't be running around with the shorts on. It's just not smart. Although I am going to tell you about my friend R. Young here in just a little bit and what he's up to. Just stand by for that. Saturday night, winds are going to ease up a little bit. Skies are going to be clear. Temperature's going to drop real hard. Overnight lows expected to fall between 20 to 5 below. That's air temp. Wind chills ranging from 30 below zero, maybe 40 below if you're in a little elevation. That's the price that you pay for that beautiful view. Stacy, we're wondering what you got down in Fort Pierce, Florida this morning. Sunday morning is still going to be extremely cold. Again, this is all from NBC5. They do such a great job, by the way, with the weather. I'm always paying attention to what they're posting. Temps going to be ranging Sunday morning from 30 below zero in the mountains to 15 below zero in the valleys. Wind chill's going to be between 30 and 15 below. This, again, is Sunday morning. By Sunday afternoon, temps going to begin to recover slightly, making it above zero in the valleys. Mountains still going to be around 10 below zero. And temps expected to remain colder than normal into early next week. Again, we are at 26 degrees, enjoying the warmth here in Barrie. Snow showers possible around 2 o'clock this afternoon. We're going to make it up to about 33. Tonight, partly cloudy, snow showers 15. Tomorrow, cloudy, snow showers 20. And that's, the deep freeze starts Friday night. Saturday, sunshine and -1 for the daytime high. Sunday, cloudy skies, snow showers, and anywhere between 5 and 8 degrees on Sunday. My friend R. Young Vandershoot, my buddy from Holland, who is the Iceman of the North Country, right here in Vermont. I think he's down Woodstock way. Trying to reach him this morning. But he is he's a cold plunger. And if you haven't yet visited the Facebook page, Arctic Bliss, or R. Young Vandershoot on his personal page on Facebook, you ought to. Even if just for entertainment's sake. This guy is, first of all, he's an incredible dude. So inspiring, so motivating. He has a pond in his backyard, and he goes out and smashes a big hole in the pond, takes his clothes off, well, most of his clothes, I think, and cold plunges all the time. And reaps the benefits. The dopamine dump, the adrenaline hit, the lack of inflammation in his body, the mental toughness, the attitude, everything that he does before, during, and after cold plunging is amazing. This guy he knows a lot about it. He's getting into waterfalls during the winter. He does ice bathing everywhere and brings the community. And he's having a an ice bathing party on Saturday that he has so graciously invited me to. Maybe knowing that I've got a GoPro. Maybe. And he's having a few people over, and they're going to have they're going to have a fire going. They're going to be serving up hot cider afterwards. But he's going to have several people in his pond this Saturday morning. I don't know what the temperature is. He usually goes live. I may be there. Kind of depends on my life and my schedule. I would like to be. If I can, you bet. I'm going to film it. Incredible. Listen, here's an idea of something you can do anytime. Tonight, tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. If you are looking to escape the cold, get to the Capitol Theater or the Paramount Theater. I'm going to tell you what's playing here. But I'll tell you first, before I even go an inch further, the heat's on in the building. The heat's on. It is a fantastic way to escape reality, enjoy some popcorn, some concessions, relax, and enjoy a movie. At the Capitol, today, the 22nd of January, Avatar, Fire and Ash, Hamnet, Marty Supreme, The Coral, and The Housemaid. At the Paramount Twin right here in Barrie, they've got, not exactly sure. I think their page might be down for the Paramount, but I know that they've got movies that are going to be playing this weekend too, right here in Barrie. So please get yourself out and go enjoy a movie. FGBtheaters.com to get your tickets in advance. Skip the line. Yeah, do it in advance. Facebook, Instagram, get on their page, see what's playing, see what the listings are. Community calendar. We've got bingo at the Canadian Club tonight at 7 o'clock. There's another way to get out of the cold and go have some fun. Friday, tomorrow, 7 o'clock, doors opening at the Barrie Elks Lodge for Barrie's Rock and Soul Chorus, Rock City, who's going to be performing and keeping things hot. 7:30 show. $20 is the suggested donation at the door to support the Capstone Food Shelf. But you want to have some fun? You want to hear some great music? They got the band, they got the singers. It's amazing. If you've never experienced Rock City, you ought to. Tomorrow night, again, at the Barrie Elks Lodge. It's on the front page of The World. And looking ahead here, Montpelier Winterfest, January 31st and February 1st. That whole weekend is going to be designed for the family in Montpelier for Winterfest. Nordic skiing, snowshoeing, puzzles, live music, indoor activities, horse-drawn wagon rides. I'm just looking at the page here. Ice skating, fat biking, sledding at locations across Montpelier. They got a sledding party at the Country Club Road from 2:30 until 4. Ice sculptures on the lawn at the Kellogg Hubbard Library. Plus, the Capitol Showplace Theater has movies and fun planned for Friday. Live music at Hugo's Bar and Grill and Charlio's. It's just going to be a great weekend. And then Sunday, February 1st. This is something you should get on your calendar. Ice on Fire, hosted by All Together Now at the Country Club Road from 2 to 5. With the parade, the storytelling, the games, the performances, the bonfire, lots of winter magic. It's Winterfest, and look, it's cold. We might as well get out and try and enjoy it, too. The full schedule of events and the updates, MontpelierLive.com. I'm going to post that into the comments here this morning so that you can get dialed in. And if you want to go to that, that's something that's great. Looking ahead to February, Night to Shine, February 13th, Friday night at the Barrie Elks Lodge. Was told yesterday by Trey, 100 honored guests are going to be there. 100. That's a record. And check this out. And we've been trying to push for volunteers and help them out with this Tim Tebow Night to Shine. 180 volunteers are registered. That's amazing. This is going to be one incredible night for so many people. Amy's Armoire is in need of pay-it-forward donations, by the way, for Night to Shine, for guests to cover the cost of their formal wear. So, if you can help out with that, that would be great. It's really easy. You simply go into Amy's Armoire right here on North Main Street and say, hey, I'd love to, give $10 or whatever to the Pay It Forward Fund to help out anyone who is, looking to get some formal wear. So it's a great thing. I love it. I love the fact that Amy's Armoire does this. I love the fact that the Faith Community Church right here in Barrie is hosting this now for what? I think it's year number 4, if I'm not mistaken. But Trey and Robin and Amy and all of the volunteers, all of the businesses and organizations in and around Central Vermont that come together for this one night for 100 folks to give them one amazing evening, to show them love and appreciation, and mostly love, is just incredible. I wouldn't miss it for the world. And, of course, I'll be there with my buddy. Oh, have never missed one. Facebook question of the day this morning. I'm going to see if I can connect in here with a friend of mine who can probably speak to this. I know that there's a lot of us running around right now with the flu. And it's, from what I hear, really bad. My question of the day this morning is to flu vax or not to flu vax for you. And I know the Vermont Department of Health and U.S. Department of Health and Human Services says that Vermont is going to continue to follow its established childhood immunization schedule. It was in the World newspaper. They also caution on, and I think this is great to say this, on sharing or acting on unverified or misleading health information. It is so important to think objectively about this, make a decision on your own, maybe with some chat with a school nurse, your pharmacist, pediatrician, someone who is maybe dialed into some of the facts of what's going on with this strain right now. And seeing if I can sneak a friend of mine on who got the vaccination and got the flu and got it good. I mean, he's on the back side of it, but he's lost his voice. He's lost his voice. Poor dude. Devin. And if I can get him on, I will. But man, it's such a hot button. And we see everywhere, Walgreens, Walmart, CVS, Kinney Drugs. We see everywhere in the hospital, free flu shots. What say you? And many of you are like, "Oh, I'm not. That's a personal question. I'm not going anywhere near that one," and that's fine. So I don't know. It's I want to hear from you. Are you getting the flu shot this year? And if so, why? And if not, why? I don't know. Personal decision, and respect those that are going to get the shot or are going to get the shot for their kids, and respect those that don't. I know about this other strain this other variant that's going on. And, they do the best they can to try to predict what it's going to be. And what I've heard, and I don't, it's just what I've heard, seen, read, is that the boat was kind of missed a little bit on this one. And that several people that have received the vaccination got the flu anyway. Knock on wood. I've been healthy so far. And I think a lot of listen, I'm definitely the furthest thing from an expert on this stuff, but I think a lot of it depends on how well you're taking care of yourself. Are you running around with shorts and a T-shirt on when you shouldn't be? Are you getting enough sleep? Are you eating right? Are you just eating a bunch of crap? Are you drinking enough water? Are you getting some exercise? Basic things here. And if you're not doing any of those things, I don't know that the vaccination is going to prevent you from getting sick. And it could start out as a head cold and then go full whack into the flu. Take care of yourself. Tomorrow morning, Keith Cushman, our chief, is going to be on the air with me. We are going to talk about some safety tips that you need to consider going into this weekend with this cold snap. Department of Safety everywhere across the whole state. Public Works is going to be busy. Police, fire, first responders, EMTs, all that. City employees dealing with all things related to the cold. Some tips for what you can do at home to prevent freeze-ups, frozen pipes, whatnot. We'll have that for you. And uh, yeah, and of course we're going to have a whole bunch of fun too with G. We're going to have some laughs tomorrow morning, but we got some serious stuff to get to too. And I'll say this, and I'm going to say it tomorrow morning too. Outside of all of this stuff, probably one of the most important things that you can do is pass on the information that we've been sharing about the overnight shelters, the warming shelters, and also taking care of your neighbors and making sure that they're okay. And that's something that I know that I sound like a broken record with it. I say it all the time. I say it every time it gets cold, but I mean it. If you have a neighbor, a friend that is vulnerable in any way, maybe they're disabled, maybe they're just elderly, you got to connect with them. Maybe even today ahead of this and make sure that they're going to be okay during this cold. You know, tell them to open up their cabinets so that the pipes can get more heat than they normally do. Warn them about, space heaters and whatnot, electric blankets being left on, fire hazards. Berry City Police Department posted up earlier this morning that today is Homelessness Awareness Day. And that, ironically, we're experiencing these brutal, frigid temperatures heading into the weekend. So if you know, as it says here, anyone who needs overnight shelter during these temperatures, please reach out. Everyone deserves a safe and warm place to sleep. That is Tess Taylor, by the way, also is going to be joining me tomorrow morning by phone, and it's going to be a busy day. It really is. But we've got all of the shelter information that we've been posting up, and we encourage you to not only give it a read, but also maybe make something and bring it over and donate it, or volunteer your time in one of these overnight shelters if you can. They're going to be hopefully filled right up. The last thing we want is for another tragedy to happen in our community or any community anywhere where someone who's vulnerable for whatever reason, it doesn't matter, that they lose their life. So think about this, okay? Just have it in your mind. In the Vermont headlines yesterday, dozens of folks gathered at the State House to call for new protections for Vermont's immigrant communities. The awareness campaign has been dubbed the No Secret Police campaign. What do you think about this? Organizers said they are advocating for more accountability and transparency when it comes to enforcement operations in Vermont. This is all over Channel 5 and WCAX. The gathering was a partnership that includes the ACLU of Vermont, Migrant Justice, and the Vermont Asylum Assistance Project. Legislators were there too as part of this. So, interesting. What say you about it? Vermont's unemployment rate, as I read in the World newspaper, has increased to 2.6%. just recently. By the way, in the United States, it's 4.6%. Well, what do you think about that? Is that anything that's alarming to you? Vermonters looking for work, local businesses looking to hire, and the relationship between the two? Just a couple of months ago, Vermont's labor force decreased to around 1,300, or by around 1,300. Number of employed people decreased by just over 1,400. Department of Labor, their website, labor.vermont.gov, has info on job fairs, employment opportunities, hiring events, all of that. Encourage you to hop on, have a look at that. And, I don't know. Were you paying attention to the governor's State of the State address? Watching, listening to any of that? Were you paying attention to his $9.4 billion budget address Tuesday afternoon? Touched on a lot of issues, of course. Housing and education, public safety. Says he aims to fix Vermont's broken criminal justice system in this session. I think it's going to take a lot more than just this session. Call me crazy. Says that he wants to crack down on juvenile offenders and curbing repeat offenders. Said the criminal justice policies are out of balance and that for too long offenders' interests have been prioritized over victims. In my opinion, ain't that the truth? Wants to crack down on juvenile offenders Tuesday, and in that speech on Tuesday, asked to raise the age legislation for 19-year-olds to be repealed this session. Wants lawmakers to take action on his proposals from last session to give prosecutors the ability to charge violent offenders who are under 19 years old in criminal court for serious crimes. And the repeat offender thing, which, wow, if I see the words, if I had $1 for every time I saw the word repeat offenders, just in one day on social media, or if I had $1 for every time I saw the words catch and release on social media, local social media. The budget testimony began yesterday, but there's a lot of work that needs to be done. Man, we all know it. The backlog is crazy. Absolutely insane. Scott was quoted saying, "We've reached a point where there are no consequences for not showing up at all to court. That's the definition of a broken system." Over a quarter of the current backlog involves people with 5 or more pending criminal cases. There are too many released pretrial who ignore court orders and court dates and face little or no accountability for violating conditions of release or failing to appear. Said that his budget increases base funding to expand pretrial supervision statewide and also invest an additional $2 million for more addiction treatment and recovery efforts to curb crime and abuse in the state. Good number of Vermonters that are saying good luck with that. I don't know. We'll see what happens. God. But this little Green Mountain State, man, we got some work to do, man. We got some areas that are just. Do I think that there are plenty running around under the Golden Dome with their head in the sand? I think there's a good number, yeah. I also think that there's several that have a pretty good idea, but maybe don't have the solution. But man, to all of our problems, but we got to start figuring some stuff out here in Vermont, man. Holy crap. And it's not just infrastructure. And it's not just drugs. And it's not just crime. And it's not just mental health and education and housing and health insurance. I know the list is stacked a mile long. We got a lot of work to do. National headlines. Did you, before I get into them, did you get a chance to see any of the Northern Lights the other night? Man, it's like, I know this big solar storm that is all over the United States. Everybody's seeing the Northern Lights, except JD. I don't know why. It was probably 30 years ago that I saw the Northern Lights for the first time. And it's like the other night. It just, again, missed it. Maybe this solar storm is going to continue with the Northern Lights here over the next few days. If it's supposed to, let me know. I just don't want to, stand outside freezing my ass off in the backyard, just standing there looking up at the sky, waiting for the Northern Lights. National headlines. Woo! Justice Department subpoenas 5 Democratic leaders in Minnesota, including Governor Tim Walz and Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey. It's part of the investigation into the alleged impending of immigration enforcement. So these are just the headlines. I don't know if I'll be taking a deep dive on any of this. I'm just glancing here. Supreme Court hears oral arguments on Hawaii's so-called vampire rule, requiring gun owners with concealed carry permits to ask permission before entering private property open to the public, including restaurants and stores. Ask permission. Okay. Moving right along, National Weather Service warning of this major winter storm starting Friday that could weigh down trees and trigger power outages from Texas to the Carolinas. The swath of this thing is huge. 36 states are going to be impacted by this storm to varying levels. 36 states. This is like multiple storms all coming together, hanging out. And like Oklahoma is supposed to get 14 inches, which is way out of the ordinary. Nashville, I think, is supposed to get like right around that too. At least a foot. I'm hearing. Seems like this big sucker is mostly going to be pushing to the mid-Atlantic, through the mid-Atlantic before heading out. And up here in the North Country, we're going to get the northern edge of it, and not. I don't know, man. It's like I got a couple of friends are freaking out. Did you hear we're supposed to get 3 feet of snow, JD? How come you're not paying attention? Didn't you know that? And then I've also heard, JD, calm down. We're supposed to get like 3 inches, maybe 5. Tops 8. Not 2 feet. Anyway, from what I gather here and what I was reading this morning from Channel 5, it's supposed to be spread out over the course of like, Friday through like Tuesday. An inch here, 3 there, maybe 5. But 8-ish total for central Vermont before all is said and done. 8-ish. Of course, if you're in the higher terrain, by the time Tuesday, Wednesday gets here, you might be looking at closer to 10. Don't quote me. The former Uvalde Schools police officer who was among the first to respond to the mass shooting at a Texas elementary school has been acquitted of criminal charges that he failed his duty to confront the gunman. House Republicans have advanced a resolution to hold former President Bill Clinton and former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton in contempt of Congress over the Jeffrey Epstein investigation. These are the headlines. The Supreme Court seems inclined to keep Federal Reserve Governor Lisa Cook in her job, casting doubt on President Trump's bid to wrest control of the nation's central bank. Trump cancels his tariff threat in his push for control of Greenland. Were you watching that last night? Any of that? The abrupt about-face emerged hours after Trump had insisted that he wants to get Greenland, including right, title, and ownership, but said that he would not use force to do so, and vowing that NATO should not try to block U.S. expansionism. Apparently, we've got a nice deal that's in the making right now. Whatever that means. Hopefully we'll find out some more details here in the coming hours today regarding that. But I don't know, man. There's a lot of countries that are ticked off, and I'm trying to think, read, digest, decipher all of this stuff as objectively as I can. But there's a stench. It doesn't smell great. I don't know. Maybe we'll get the Febreze out sometime, and this will all be beautiful. I don't know. I'm trying to stay positive here. Let's see. Trump moves to block Wall Street from buying single-family homes in a sweeping new executive order, arguing the practice has priced American families out of home ownership and turned neighborhoods into corporate assets rather than places to live. The order directs multiple federal agencies to limit federal support for such purchases and calls on the Justice Department and Federal Trade Commission to step up antitrust scrutiny of large institutional investors in the housing market. Yesterday, he unveiled his plan to make housing more affordable. Elements of the plan are believed to include limited institutional ownership of single-family homes, allowing homeowners to keep their old mortgage rate when they move. Interesting. Penalty-free early withdrawal from 401k accounts to fund a down payment, which I was talking about a couple of days ago, last week. I can't remember. But I was talking about that on the air and asked you what you thought about that. And, man, I don't see anything in the middle here. I see great idea, wonderful idea, and I hear horrible idea, not sustainable. Going to do more harm than good. I've seen both sides. I have a friend that I would love to sneak on the air who is, and I'm going to see if I can contact him and see if he'll come on. This guy is on a mission to change the way that homes are built using 3D printing. And he has started a company that he says builds homes for 30% less than a typical home and at a fraction of the time. Technology is crazy. Crazy good? Maybe crazy not so good, but I'm going to see if I can get him on the air and have him maybe enlighten us. Let's see. The story about the guy, Ian Ludlow, extradited to face charges following the police shooting. That story's pretty hot right now. Jamie Gomez, 18 years old. What a mugshot, too. Did you see that last night? Handsome dude. Receiving treatment for a gunshot wound at Dartmouth and was returned to Vermont yesterday. We'll see what happens. The World Economic Forum in Switzerland. No, Rusty Deweese is not there for that, I can assure you. But Trump announced a potential framework deal concerning Greenland and says he reached this deal with NATO during this meeting or during this speech to world leaders, and that J.D. Vance and Marco Rubio are now leading the discussions to finalize the details of the deal. And says, we'll have more details for you soon. Stay tuned. I don't know. Maybe those details are breaking right now in front of me. I don't know. There's crazy stuff going on. There's crazy stuff going on. The new diet guidelines. Oh, my God. I mean, just everything. You know, Trump prides himself on the art of the deal. But could this be the ultimate test of the art of the deal? Do you think his negotiating style is working well and creating trust with America's closest allies? Or do you think it's creating trust issues? That's what I asked you this morning. Go about it objectively. Keep your eyes open. Tomorrow morning, G's going to come in. 2026 has arrived red hot. And there's some stuff going on. And I know the whole Beckham drama thing is big right now. I know a lot of people are talking about that. But we're going to have some fun tomorrow morning. And I'm going to tell you about some of the wacky, for lack of a better term, because I can't think of anything else, wacky stuff that is going on already in 2026. Aside from politics, G loves culture. I love culture too. Tomorrow we're going to tell you about a new dating trend called hot take dating. And we're going to laugh. And we're going to have some fun with this. Trust me. Tomorrow. It's going to be a doozy as we get ready to kick off one frigid freaking weekend. Again, Tess Taylor going to be on with me tomorrow talking about the overnight warming shelters here in our communities. Also, Keith Cushman, our fire chief, going to be on with me talking about some safety tips, things you need to be aware of, things you need to know if you're here in the dark, frigid tundra of Vermont. Don't miss it tomorrow morning. All right? Be well. Take good care. Thank you for tuning in this morning. Thanks for sharing your coffee with me. And if you like the podcast, tell your friends. Give it a share. Give it a like. Give it a comment. Push it along. Thanks for tuning in. Be well. Take good care. God bless. Try to stay warm. And most importantly, please check on your neighbors and your friends and make sure that they're going to be okay during this cold snap. All right? We'll see you tomorrow morning here on the Aired Out Podcast.